Good morning, Savva from Savva Talk Spurs here, the day after the game before. It didn't quite go to plan, and we'll get into it. Today, this is my daily thought. So, Tottenham Hotspur versus West Ham. What did you all make of it? Before I get involved, what did you all make of it? What did you make of the lineup? What did you make of the performance? What did you make of West Ham? What did you make of the substitutions? You tell me. I will tell you now my thoughts. I thought we would win. I thought that if we were a team with aspirations, if we were as good as everyone keeps telling me we are, we should beat a West Ham team that have lost 3 of their opening 4 games. We really, really struggled from start to finish. I feel like we had a lot of the ball in the first half without really probing. The goal, let's start with the positives. Let's start with the goal. I thought the goal was typical Tottenham. That is Antonio Conte's Tottenham. Not great to watch, but blistering on the counter-attack. On the counter-attack, we are good. We have got Son, Kane, Kulusevski, Perisic. And the moment those 4 start running at you, you can see the fear in defenders, and inevitably it ended up in a goal. Some would have tapped it in anyway, but it was a Kerr own goal. Lovely interplay between Kane and Kulusevski. Again, those 2 for me have been a standout so far this season. After the goal, I just felt that we sat back. We didn't really have any, not as in sat back to take pressure, but we just didn't really have any ideas for the rest of the game. And this is a real growing concern for me, that when the counter-attack is on, I think we look deadly. One of the best teams in Europe in the counter-attack. Of that, there is no doubt. My query is, and I've said this all summer, I just don't see the creativity in this football team. It looked very flat, void of ideas. And West Ham slowly but surely realised, stop letting Spurs get in behind, and they don't have anything. I know a lot of people won't want to hear this. A lot of fans will think this is toxic, but it's not. It's just a reality that lots of our goals come from the counter-attack, and that's fine. As I said, I've got no problem with that. But I thought what yesterday did demonstrate again was just the lack of creativity, the lack of playmaking ability. Now, that doesn't have to be an out-and-out number 10, but the lack of anyone in the middle of the park that can put their foot on the ball and really create any kind of nuisance to the other team, that can create that flow, that can put their foot on it and dictate the tempo. I thought we looked very flat in midfield. I thought Højbjerg and Bissouma didn't have good games. I thought Bissouma, look, again, difficult debut in terms of starting for him. He didn't play well, lots of sloppy passes. He didn't really look very comfortable in that too. Didn't really get into it. And then the kind of wind from his sails was knocked out of him after the yellow card. And you could see he kind of calmed down a bit. But that's not the way that he plays. So that was detrimental to Spurs. Højbjerg, for me, he does some nice stuff, but he can't run. He can't. I keep seeing people saying he's got this magnificent engine, but he looks like he's running in treacle. And that's why he got injured. In that, he was running forward, and you're thinking to yourself, release the ball, but he just looked like he was struggling, and Rice caught him up. All in all, I just don't think there's enough in there in that midfield. I've said it all summer. I don't feel there is for enough over a course of a season. When you look at Højbjerg, Bissouma, Skip, Bentancur, and Sarr, there's nothing that screams quality in there. There's nothing that makes you go, yeah, we're going to dominate this midfield today. We're going to control the game. I think if any fans say that there is, I think that that's more heart, more this than this. I'm not saying they're bad midfielders. I just don't think there's enough there. And that's what we've said all window. Do we need a Milenkovic-Savic, a Thiago Alcantara type, a Rodri, a Fabinho, someone that can keep a game ticking over? I just feel that it's sorely lacking. And the fact that we've got those 5 centre mids to last us 55, 60 games, I just don't see how that's ever going to produce title-winning teams or cup-winning teams, if I'm honest. I feel like we're going to get overrun in most games. I thought we'd win. I thought we'd step up our performance. I thought we'd show some passion, some fight for a London derby, but it didn't really materialise. And for as bad as West Ham were in the first half, I thought the second half they grew into the game and they had the much better chances. And again, if not for poor finishing and decision making, I think we would have been put to the sword. So what I'm trying to say here, 11 points from the first 15. Nothing wrong with that. Very good. Third in the league. For me, just slightly, I do feel that it's papering over some glaring cracks within this squad. We've had 12 or 13 or 14, depending on who you believe, outgoings this window. And 7 have come in, but a Doji going on loan. So six have come in to replace 12 or 13 players. The squad depth is simply not there. I keep hearing from fans, I keep hearing that we've strengthened the quality and depth. I'm going to read out our bench from last night. This was our bench from last night. Doherty, Forster, Sarr, Sessegnon, Skip, Spence, Tanganga, Longley, Richarlison. Now, when people are telling me that we've strengthened in depth, what is coming off that bench to help us? Richarlison. Hence why only one substitution from Antonio Conte. He famously said last season, I look to the bench and think, what can change a game? This season, no different from my humble opinion. On that bench, Tanganga, Spence, Sessegnon, Longley, Doherty, 5 defenders, Sarr and Skip, 2 defensive midfielders, Richarlison as the only attacking outlet, the only attacking forward, attacking midfielder, the only attacker. Really, really poor in terms of how this squad has been built. I know I don't care anymore. People will call me toxic, call me negative. I don't care. If anyone can't see that this squad is bereft of ideas, creativity, attacking talent, I worry. I'm not talking about the first 11. The 4 of Perisic, Son, Kane, Kulusevski. That attacking talent is great. But it's a squad game and we simply have not got it in the squad. So I don't want to hear from people that it's been this great window. The math doesn't work out. We've let 12 to 13 go and bought 6 in. We've bought no attacking players other than Richarlison. Longley's not starting games, yet that defence is crying out for someone that's cool, calm and composed on the ball. Because for as well as the guys have defended in terms of throwing their body on the line and general defensive duties, none of them are composed on the ball. And it doesn't help us start attacks. It doesn't help us bring the ball out. The midfield, no creativity again. I do worry. I think we set ourselves up for a wonderful season if we sign 2 more quality players. This window, it's there for us. This is where my frustrations in this window has come from. But as I said yesterday, when I was live with Henry Wright, as I said, this doesn't surprise me. This is fully what I expected from this window. Spurs do not have the ambition to go out and buy top players. We do not have the ambition to go and buy the players that take us from there to there. And if anyone wants to say that we have, again, I will say, look at that bench last night. Look at the fact that the back 3 last night were 3 defenders that couldn't get into Pochettino's team 3 or 4 years ago. Emerson Royal, what does he offer going forward? Absolutely nothing again last night. Basuma, Bentancur, Skip, Højbjerg, what do they offer going forward? Here's the positives. I've said all window, I believe we will finish 4th. I've not changed my mind on that. I've always said, if Chelsea sign Aubameyang, I believe Chelsea will go on a run and will finish above us because of the quality they've got in their squad. Yeah? Form is temporary, class is permanent. If they sign Aubameyang, which it looks like it's going to happen, I believe they'll have enough to finish 3rd. I think Liverpool will still finish 2nd, Man City 1st, Arsenal 5th, and Man United 6th. I think there will be no difference this year to last year. Apologies for anyone that thinks we're in a title challenge. I just can't see it. I'd love to be proven wrong. I can't see it at all. I feel that we are desperately lacking in creativity and ideas. At the moment, all is good. The points on the board are good. But again, this is very short term. I truly believe we will struggle as the season goes on. Choose to take this how you want, as a negative statement, as a realistic statement, as a positive statement, however you want. The statement is only how you interpret it, not how I do. So top 4 is what I believe, but I can't see any higher. Possibly 3rd, but I realistically think 4th. Can we get higher than 3rd? I just don't think so. I just don't think there's enough quality. Just to put it in way of context, you heard the bench that I just read out there. Now, look at Liverpool. Everyone's telling me they're terrible and they're a dead team. They're 3 points behind us, even though they've not played well at all, with 10 injuries to their squad. Can you imagine if this Spurs squad had 10 injuries? Think about it for a minute. Look at the bench I just read out. Now imagine 10 of those have to play. Where on earth is our squad? Guys, I will leave it there. I'm disappointed with last night. I've been disappointed in general with the performances overall. However, positives, unbeaten. We scored goals. We're unbeaten. And we've got points on the board. I just feel we need more. As always, leave your comments, like, subscribe, and come on, you Spurs.